Hey, welcome back. True Captive Insurance helps employers take control of their healthcare costs through a smarter risk transfer model called a captive.
That's right, and here to tell us about that approach to healthcare coverage and how it can benefit you is CEO and founder of True Captive Insurance, David Voorhees. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, so let's maybe talk about what trends or changes that you're seeing that could maybe reshape how employers approach healthcare coverage.
I think what's occurring is people are somewhat understanding of what's available to them, and they're frustrated that they don't get what everybody's best is.
Yeah.
You know, healthcare is confusing whether you're a patient. It's very confusing if you're an employee and you have to navigate all of the different components of health insurance. And so we're in this age of people didn't know what they didn't know, and you are unaware. Now they know what they don't know. They're a little frustrated.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, speaking of that, and obviously you've got your finger on the pulse of all this stuff with what you do, what is, in your opinion, the current state of healthcare coverage here in the country?
It's a very loaded question.
Yeah, right.
Like I mentioned, I think people are frustrated, and understandably so. My grandfather was a retired World War II doctor, and so I got to go on house calls with him as a young boy, and I got to see medicine being practiced in a way that other people haven't. And that level of care is not experienced by others. It feels very transactional, and the most important commodity you have is your health. And so when people are at their darkest, nobody chooses to get sick or get prescribed a very expensive medicine. You know, they're not being treated like a human. It's a transaction, and it's not by anybody's fault. It's by design, and so I think it's really trying to get people back to being, humane's a horrible word to use here. I think it's just caring about another individual at their core level, because again, health is the #1 commodity you have in life.
Well, you just talked about it and touched on it, but True Captive, you guys talk about bringing humanity back into healthcare. What would you say for you guys that looks like in action?
So it's simple, harder in practice, but it's really about bringing the heart to insurance. You know, like I mentioned, nobody chooses to get sick.
Oh gosh, no.
And oftentimes it's a scary time, and then you've got to figure out how to decode health insurance, and then it doesn't work the way you want it to, and so now you're worried about how much it's going to cost when you should be really thinking about how am I going to get better, you know, for you, for your family, for your friends. So, you know, I think what we really try to aim is think about the human and what they're going through. How can we help them get better through our lens, right? We're not healers, we're not practitioners, we're insurance, which in many ways is the easier part of all of this. But when we look at it, we're trying to help the person first. The byproduct is how the insurance works. Insurance is actually very, very simple, right? If it collects more than it loses, the insurance company can exist. If it loses more than it collects, this is a problem. But nobody cares about that. We care about what somebody's doing on the front end, because when we look at what's occurring in someone's life, I mean, it's important to me, it's important to our team, and we'll never lose that. And I think that what makes us so different is we're not intimidated by the uncomfortable. We actually lean in and talk to people when they're scared, and they may not know, and we may not know, but we know together we'll be stronger.
What does success look like for you at the end of all this too? Not just in, you know, the numbers, but in impact as well.
It's a little bit of a selfish desire to look at what my grandfather accomplished and the things that he was able to do, and the impact he made is, can we make the same impact in people's lives while not being on the front end of medicine or healthcare? It's, can we help decode what people go through in a meaningful way? So oftentimes we're called disruptors, and while I appreciate that, I'm not sure I like that. I think of us as translators. So when people are doing something that they need to focus on, we can translate in layman's terms of, here's what you need to be aware of, and oh, by the way, maybe don't even think about it right now. You take care of you. This will be here when we get there, because it's math. Math is pretty simple, actually. 2 is always 2 + 2 = 4.
Well, if people are listening today and they're touched by what you said, because like you said, it's a very delicate thing, what is the best way to connect with you guys and just learn more about your resources?
TrueCaptive.com is the best way to get to us. There's a contact us, and we'll have somebody reach out to you and talk to you. And occasionally, my guilty pleasure is still getting on the phone and talking with everybody, because at the end of the day, I'm incredibly proud of what we've done and what we continue to do. And hopefully more carriers and more folks in the insurance industry look at what we do and say, that's something we want to emulate, and that would be the biggest gift, is we're all able to help lift the community up, offer better value to our employees.
For sure. Well, David, thank you so much for joining us and taking on such a complex industry too, and for all the information that you shared with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well.